comment,
and subscribe for more content.
Where's the notification bell?
It's to the right of you.
Oh.
What's up, guys? It's DK Russell here from a Funko Popcast, and in today's video, I'm going to be ranking every Crash Bandicoot Funko Pop. But before that happens, make sure you press the subscribe button for more content like this video in the future, and press the little bell beside it to be notified of when that future content gets released. But anyways, guys, let's check it out. So like I said in today's video, I am going to be ranking every Crash Bandicoot Funko Pop released thus far, which hopefully there will be more Crash Bandicoot Pops in the future, because in today's video, I am going to be talking about all of them as of this video, which are only 16 Crash Bandicoot Funko Pops, with the newest one in this video being the FunCon 2021 shared with Walmart exclusive Crash Bandicoot in Mass Armor from Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time. Now, of course, on this list, we use the Tiermaker app, in which the 5 different tier categories, I guess I'm going to call them, are failed, could have been better, not bad, really good, and amazing. So without further ado, let's move over to the Zoom app, in which I use the Tiermaker through there. Alright, so here is every Crash Bandicoot Funko Pop released thus far. There are only 16, which we have them in the numerical order of how the set is for the Crash Bandicoot lineup, in which we will kick off with the normal Crash Bandicoot Pop, which is going to go under not bad in my opinion, and that's because it's simply not bad. It's not a could have been better, but I don't think it's really good. Like, I mean, the hands are just to the side, but it does have that sweet smile that Crash Bandicoot does, because Crash Bandicoot does have a lot of great facial expressions, so I do like that about the pop. Then we have the chase figure of this pop, which is the black and white figure, which this is going to go under failed. Now, this was very hard to decide, because I didn't really want to put any pops under like the very last category, because I do love this set of Funko Pops, but I felt if any pop were to be in this category, and normally we have at least one in each of the categories, that I felt the black and white variant would be the pop that goes under failed, because there's nothing really significant between black and white and essentially Crash Bandicoot. I think it was just Funko thinking, what can we do for a chase for this figure? And they decided, let's do it black and white instead of, let's say, a flock chase or something else that would have been more appealing than just black and white. Then we have ourselves the flocked Crash Bandicoot that was exclusive to EB Games here in Canada and GameStop in the US, which I'm going to put this under really good. Now, the reason it is under really good, although the design is the exact same as the original and chase variants of Crash Bandicoot, is the fact that it is flocked. And I think that the flocked version, which I do own, of course, is a great looking pop when, of course, it is flocked. The orangey brown color looks really nice with that pop, and I think it translated very well. Then we got ourselves the glow-in-the-dark Crash Bandicoot exclusive to Best Buy, which I'm going to put this under could have been better. Did we really need a glow-in-the-dark Crash Bandicoot? Not really, but the only reason why this is under could have been better and not failed is the fact that this pop actually glows green when you take a black light and glow in the dark with it, and not that orangey brown color, which I do like, because I feel like brown / orange would be a weird color to see glow in the dark. So I like the idea that this pop actually glows green, since I do own this pop, and that I have shown in previous videos in the past that this pop does glow in the dark green. So I like that about it, but it could have been better because we didn't necessarily need it to be glow in the dark per se. Then we got ourselves Crash Bandicoot in the Jetpack, which was a Toys R Us exclusive, and I'm going to put this in the front of not bad. And the reason it's under not bad is, although it is great to see essentially Crash's attire during the boss battle of the second game into Funko Pop form, it is essentially just the same mold as the 4 Funko Pops that we had just talked about, except that they added some stuff to it, like the jetpack and the goggles and the helmet and all that. And I think it would have been under really good if they added, let's say, fire and smoke to it, like Crash was actually flying in this pop, unlike what it is right now, where it is just standing still and it's not doing anything. Then we got ourselves Crash Bandicoot with the biker outfit. That was a Hot Topic exclusive. I'm going to put this, this is a really tough decision. Where am I putting this? You know what? At the end of really good. And I thought about actually putting this in front of the flocked one, but at the same time, I felt like with this Crash Bandicoot pop, because it is from the third one, this should have been a pop rides, which would have made this under amazing. I have a little bit more of a personal reaction because I really like Crash Bandicoot Warped, which is where this is from. And I felt like I mentioned, this should have been a pop rides because in this part of the game, Crash Bandicoot does ride a motorcycle, and I felt it would have been more appropriate to have him riding a motorcycle because that's what you do in the level. So for him just to have a little pose like that and just not have the motorcycle does seem weird to me, which is why it is under really good and not amazing. Then we got ourselves Dr. Neo Cortex, which I'm going to put this at the beginning of really good. Now, I wasn't sure exactly whether I was going to put this under really good or amazing because I think either way, this pop deserves to be in either one of those categories. It has awesome detail with the N on his forehead and the way they did the hair with even the posing and the sadistical smile that he's got there. Maybe the reason I put it under really good is because I don't really know how I feel about the eyes and how they are black with the red on the outside. It seems like it's like a typical normal Funko Pop eyes, except with red on the outside. Maybe white would have stood out a little bit better. I don't exactly know. I can't really imagine that right now. But at the moment, I am putting this under really good, but I wouldn't be surprised if I decide to put this under amazing by the end of this video. Then we got ourselves Coco Bandicoot, which I'm going to put this at the beginning of not bad. There's something about it where I thought about putting in really good, but I think it should be under not bad. And I think mainly it's because when you look at Biker Crash and how I like Warped, maybe it's a little bit more personal reaction, but they did do the design of Coco Bandicoot really well with the computer and the posing and even the hair that's involved with the little pink bow tie. But there's just something about it, and I don't exactly know what, but for some reason I feel it shouldn't be under really good, but should at least kick off not bad. Then we got ourselves Aku Aku, which I am putting this as the very first pop in amazing. They did such a great job with this Funko Pop. Of course, Aku Aku is such a loved character in the Crash Bandicoot series, and I think why it's so amazing is the fact that if you took this pop out of the box and you were showing your friends and you asked them which company had made this collectible figure, and pretty much I feel like a lot of people wouldn't even say Funko because essentially it looks like the exact way that the character looks like in the game, although I could see some people not liking this pop because it is such a thin pop. Like, let's say if you have the Toy Story 4 pops and you have Forky and how thin that pop is and you're not really getting bang for your buck on that pop, it's kind of that way with this Aku Aku, but at the same time, they executed it so well, even with the eyes where it's white and you have the green trimming that just make it really pop out well, and I think it is a great Funko Pop. Then we got ourselves Crash Bandicoot in the scuba gear from the third game of Warped, and I'm going to put this in between the Jetpack Crash and the Coco Bandicoot. Reason being is because I do like this version because it is from Warped, which I really like that game, but I feel like it shouldn't be better than Coco Bandicoot because it is a newer character. It's not a remold of Crash, but I do kind of like it better than the Jetpack one because although that this version could have like that kind of machine that Crash Bandicoot uses when you explode the crates that are under the seaweed, I feel like that's not really more of a gripe unlike the Jetpack Crash Bandicoot, and that's why I think that the Crash Bandicoot with scuba gear should be under not bad. Then we got ourselves the fake Crash Bandicoot that was exclusive to EB Games here in Canada and GameStop in the US, and I am going to put this at the end of not bad. I originally thought about putting this under the could have been better category because I feel like there's a lot more different characters that Funko hadn't made yet, or even different variants of Crash that they hadn't made yet that were better candidates to be made than fake Crash Bandicoot, but at the same time, it has a very different mold and pose unlike the other Crash Bandicoot pops that we have seen, and I think it definitely, of course, would be better than the glow-in-the-dark Crash, but I just feel personally not a lot of people really would have wanted this pop. I actually ended up getting this when it was on sale for $5, so that should show you that it was less than retail when a lot of people would end up buying this pop. Then we got ourselves Spinning Crash Bandicoot, which I am going to put this You know what? I'm going to put this at the end of amazing. Now, the reason I'm putting this at the end of amazing is because it is really cool that we have essentially a spinning Crash Bandicoot. You do that within the game when you essentially collect the Wampa fruit, I'm pretty sure it is, when you spin around, or even when you spin around and you destroy the boxes. It's really cool that they kind of captured that moment with this Funko Pop, and you kind of had like the little dust tornado that's made, and you see like 4 legs essentially to show kind of more of a tornado effect involved with this pop. And it was pretty decent, but I don't think it's better than that Aku Aku. Then we got ourselves Tiny Tiger, which I think I'm going to put this in between Neocortex and Flocked Crash Bandicoot. The reason being is because it has a really great amount of detail involving the pose, the attire, the teeth, and everything. The reason I put it past the Flocked Crash Bandicoot is because of the detail and the mold involved with this pop. But I think my only gripe about this pop is the fact that Tiny Tiger, believe it or not, even though his name is Tiny Tiger, he's actually a very buff and jacked character, and I felt like this pop should have been a 6-inch pop when it was made. Otherwise, I feel like it would have been either at the beginning of really good or at the end of amazing behind that spinning Crash Bandicoot. That's why also Neocortex, because of his detail and more accuracy to the character, is better than Tiny Tiger in my opinion. Then we got ourselves Nitrous Oxide, which I'm going to put this in between Fake Crash and regular Crash Bandicoot. And the reason being is nothing against the character. I see the reason why they made the character, because at the time of when the wave was released, they were doing the re-release of Crash Team Racing. And of course, Nitrous Oxide is the main villain for Crash Team Racing. But in my opinion, I felt like there should have been way more villains that should have been made before Nitrous Oxide. Like, let's say, example, Dingo Dial, Koala Kong, even one of my all-time favorites, Ripperoo, should have been made before Nitrous Oxide, in my opinion. And another thing is that because this is a main character of Crash Team Racing, I felt like this also should have been a Pop Rides. It was weird that they didn't do that, but the colors look really well, and I do like it better than the Fake Crash. So now we're going to look at the Crash Bandicoot in cart from Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled, and I am going to put this... Oh, this is a tough decision. You know what? I'm going to put this in between the 2 Crash Bandicoots, or not Crash Bandicoots, but Aku Aku and Spinning Crash Bandicoot under Amazing, because I really like the way that they executed this pop, where you see a lot of different facial expressions with Crash. I mean, there's only one, and that is him with his tongue sticking out, but you also have the pose of him doing a pose in midair when he's in the go-kart, which essentially that's what they're doing, is when you jump off a ramp and he goes off, a lot of times you're able to do a pose in midair while playing as Crash Bandicoot, and I think they did that really well. And I think the reason it's not at the beginning of Amazing is because of the way that it was positioned in the box, where it was sideways. So if you're an in-box collector, it looks a little awkward, but if you're an out-of-box collector, it looks really great. And even the box art looks fantastic on this too, which is why it is under Amazing in my opinion. Then the last pop we are going to discuss about, it is the newest pop in this set, and that is the Crash Bandicoot in Mask Armor from Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time. That was a FunCon 2021 shared with Walmart in both Canada and the US. I'm going to put this pop in between the 2 Scuba and Jetpack Crash Bandicoots. Reason being is I like the pose that this Crash Bandicoot is doing, and I like the detail involved with this pop, since I do own this pop from FunCon this year. I think my only gripe maybe is the fact that it would have been cooler to have Crash Bandicoot with his outfit that he has when he has Lonnie Lowly as the mask that is essentially his mask armor, which if you guys played the Crash Bandicoot 4 game, you guys would know what I'm talking about, and how it is a nice bright blue color, and how it would have been also cool with how bright that blue color is, that this pop would be glow in the dark if they were to do this, and then maybe made this version as possibly a common for an eventual wave down the line. But it is still not bad of a pop, and it definitely doesn't deserve to be under could have been better or failed, but I don't think it's really good or amazing in my opinion. But that's it, everyone. That is all 16 Crash Bandicoot Pops so far as of this list. Of course, we will probably do an eventual video in the future with an updated list. I don't know how long into the future we'll be doing this, but we will definitely do an updated version in the future where we add more pops. Hopefully there are more waves coming soon for the Crash Bandicoot lineup. And then we'll do another Tiermaker list of every Crash Bandicoot Funko Pop. Anyways, guys, that's going to be the end of today's video. If you enjoyed today's Tiermaker video of ranking every Crash Bandicoot Funko Pop, make sure to smash that like button. Comment in the comment section below and let me know what pops you felt should have been where. And like I said earlier, press the subscribe button for more content like this video in the future, and press the little bell beside it to be notified of when that future content gets released. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching today's video and hope to see you guys next time. 1, 2, 3, I'm out of here. Follow us on all of our social media platforms on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at A Funko Popcast. If you want to check out some of our other content that's featured on our channel, you can click either the playlist that's on your screen right now featuring previous episodes of our weekly podcast, A Funko Popcast, or we have suggested a video for you guys in relation to today's video.